Alright. Alrighty. Alright, cool. Welcome one and all here. Alrighty. Alright, cool. Welcome one and all here.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Alrighty. Alright, so, cool. The audio is good to go. Alright, cool. So, here we are, ready to get racing here.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Alrighty.
Alright,
Cool. The audio is good to go. Alright, cool. So, here we are, ready to get racing here. Alrighty. Cool. The audio is good to go. Alright, cool. So, here we are, ready to get racing here. Alrighty. Cool. The audio is good to go. Alright, cool. So, here we are, ready to get racing here. Alrighty. Cool. The audio is good to go. Alright, cool. So, here we are, ready to get racing here. Alrighty. Cool. The audio is good to go. Alright, cool. So, here we are, ready to get racing here. Alrighty. Cool. The audio is good to go. Alright, so, here we are, ready to get racing here. Alrighty. Cool. The audio is good to go. Alright, so, here we are, ready to get racing here. Alrighty. Cool. The audio is good to go. Alright, so, here we are, ready to get racing here. Alrighty. Cool. The audio is good to go. Alright, so, here we are, ready to get racing here. Alrighty. Cool. The audio is good to go. Alright, so, here we are, ready to get racing here. Alrighty. Cool.
Cop audio. Alright, yeah, we're good. Okay, we should be fine now. Whoops. Okay. Alright, that should be a lot better.
Alright, now it's about time to get ready to roll here in the Watkins Glen International. It's 8 o'clock now, so we're just waiting on the lobby to go up. So that's all we're waiting on right now. And it should be going up here in just a moment.
And, yeah, so we're just trying to take care of a couple things here. About to get the starting lineup and everything ready to go here. In the race lounge here for us. So we'll go ahead and go over everything we have currently so far for this race. And right now, everything is still getting ready to go. The lobby should be going up here in just a moment. Yeah, today's race is going to be the Watkins Glen 100 from the Watkins Glen International Raceway. We're going to have a 41-lap race here today. It's going to be 100 miles, and lap 21 will be your halfway bonus. I'd assume they'd be getting a lap 21. The driver who won your last race was Joni Alainen in Richmond just 1 week ago. And it's time to get this one underway. Right now, your points leader sits at Donovan David right now. And our starting lineup we'll get to in just a moment here when we get into the race when the drivers do their starting lineups. So been an exciting race here today at the Watkins Glen International Raceway, and it's super exciting. And these guys have been practicing for quite some time. And I will say I've driven the Xfinity cars on the racetrack myself here just to see what it's like, get a little bit of a feel for what the race is going to be like here today. And you can save a lot of fuel. And the cars also drive a little bit tighter, a little bit more, I could say more downforce, less aero, there's a lot of less aero dependence, I should say, on these race cars here. So we're having a slight delay at the moment here, and the lobby will be going up at the 8:10 Eastern time. So we got just about 8 minutes left until the race gets underway here. It's going to be very exciting to see these guys race on this racetrack for 41 laps. Now, the fuel window is going to be the biggest thing here. The strategy is going to be the biggest thing pulled here for these drivers here today, because you can save, like I said, you can save a lot of fuel here at Watkins Glen, and they're going to have to pull some if they want to be able to get to the end of the stages or anything like that if we don't have any cautions. Now, there's a lot of confusion from some people regarding, when cautions come out, how do they come out. We will try to keep that as clean as possible here on this broadcast. Try to look around the track and look at the battles as much as possible. And basically what we're going to be looking at is how many cars are involved in the crash. On the first lap of a restart or the start of a race, if half the field crashes, and in today's case that should be, if I'm correct, that should be 11 cars who are racing. So we're going to have, I believe it's 6 cars to cause a caution. So yeah, we're gonna have that here today. But I do want to talk about the point standings here. We're getting close to halfway or at halfway in the season so far for the VNS drivers, and I'm trying to pull the point standings here for us so we can get a look at them. All right, so as you all know, Donovan David is your points leader in the VNS points for this season, but only 15 back right now is Gatlin Downey, and I might add the top 4 in points are all rookies here in the Virtual Racing Championship next series. Adam Mitchell sits 3rd in the point standings, and he will not be racing tonight due to an injury, so he will be missing from the race here tonight. Thomas Green sits 4th in points right now, still only 30 points back. That's less than a race full of points, I believe. For these drivers, like less than a full points day. After Christian Holder and Joni Elaine, and you kind of get into the guys that start to fall off a lot more in points, like Storm Curry Fisher, G, Alexander Martzu, Andrew Miller, Brendan Morris, who has not raced in a while, Casey Labonte, Connor Cummins, Caleb McDonald, who's only had 1 race this season, and Caleb Rose the same as well. Brendan Morris has only run 2 races this season, and Adam Mitchell has run 8, and that is devastating for Adam Mitchell because he was the only driver who has so far run every race in the season up till this point. Yeah, we're getting ready to go here, so very exciting here. We'll go over the starting lineup because why not? We have some time left to kill here, so just hang on with us and we'll be back in the broadcasting in just a moment. Yeah. So we have a little bit of comedy here for you guys here. A couple minutes left before the race. Ryan Miniker, tell us what you tried to tell me here.
Lightning clock, boys.
Yeah, we got a lightning clock apparently.
So lightning struck 8 miles of the road course, so we are under a 30-minute lightning clock, and we are also looking for a race official since Paul Jackson can't do it, and his younger brother is not getting off Fortnite. So for the time being, just listen to Tyler McDonald talk about his channel and how he will be doing another giveaway in a few weeks. You're welcome.
Oh, funny. Yeah, thanks, Ryan. He is racing tonight. He will be driving the number 40 machine. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of funny because we don't have a lightning clock. We're actually waiting on an official, like he said. Right now, we're looking at trying to get Jarrett Talmadge or Ethan Hoffman to be our race officials for tonight. Right now, that's going on, and everyone's, yeah, funny. Anyways. So, yeah, anyways, we're going to go back to the drivers, though, before we get into here. It's kind of weird looking at the chat and me trying to give off stats and everything like that before we get into the race here today. But it's mostly been, I mean, it's been oval racing this entire season, and the VRC Racing Championship next series has basically going to every track that the VRC Racing Championship goes to. And, well, this season, it's been interesting. We've had a couple guys go back-to-back, a couple guys go double wins on the season so far, and Jonah Yelainen is one of them with the Michigan and Richmond wins. So, right now, we're going to look at the season stats, and we're going to figure out what the heck is going on here while we wait. So, yeah, we're just waiting on the guys here to go ahead and get us up to racing here, and we're ready to go. So, yeah, your winner. So there's actually 3 people with double wins this season. There's only 5 different winners in this entire Vienna season, and this is race number 9 of the season. We've only had 5 different winners, meaning 3 of them have gone with 2 wins. Actually, yeah, okay. So Thomas Green has won twice. Jonah has won twice. Gatlin Downey has won twice as well. With Christian Holder winning Daytona, and Donovan David winning at Pocono. So that's how that's gone down this season, and it's very exciting to see how hopefully these guys put on a good show here tonight for us. Alright, so we have an official all ready to go here. It is going to be Jarrett Talmadge, and wow, we have a big fan of me in the chat. Yeah, what's up, Drew Lamau? You still need to fix that username, by the way, Drew. I really hate it. I'm just kidding. But yeah, welcome to the stream. VNS Racing, Watkins Glen here tonight. Woohoo! So yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, in case you guys didn't know, I am the driver of the number 28 Miscraft Motorsports Toyota. We'll be racing here tomorrow at Watkins Glen for the VRC Racing Championship. I got my last win last week at Richmond, and I'm excited to try to go back-to-back here. But yeah, Drew, who's in the Twitch chat at the moment now, hopefully, he's won twice this season as well at Charlotte and Pocono. So pretty good season for him so far. Really nice season for him. Already double the wins he had last season, which is pretty darn good for that number 18 Toyota out of Thunderbolt Racing. So, lobby is up. We're going to wait till they get out of the lobby and go to race day so we can join in and give you guys your broadcast for the VRC Racing Championship next series out of Watkins Glen International. And be very exciting. Remember, 41 laps here today. It's going to be 100 miles. Halfway bonus will be at lap 21. With oh man, it's gonna be I'm very excited for this race here today. And yeah, Ryan Miniker's back. Go to your car. Yeah, lobby's up, and I'm waiting. Well, good luck today. Alright, cool.
Have fun.
Yeah, have fun. Alright, once again, that was Ryan Miniker. If you could hear him, he's driving the number 40 machine here tonight. And we're just waiting for our broadcast button to come up here so we can get into the race. And, whoo, boy, am I excited here to get this one underway. Oh, man. Whoops. All right. Alright, let's see if this lobby will get me back in here and see if I can join in and there we go. Alright, cool. So, here we go. We're getting in, ready to go here. And, I'm excited. So, your starting lineup for the Watkins Glen 100 here in the VNS, the Virtual Racing Championship next series. On the front row, you're going to have Thomas Green with an astounding lap of 1 minute, 9 seconds, .799. Once again, that's about 3 seconds off of a cup car. So we'll get into the stats of that later. But yeah, 2/10 behind him is Johnny Olanen in the number 93 machine. Then Ryan Miniker with the hot seat is about a second off with a 1:10.721. He is starting third with Caleb McNeil back behind him. It's a 1:11 flat. And then you have Donovan David and Gatlin Downey row 3. Christian Holder and Fisher G in row 4. Then it's Andrew Miller and Storm Curry. And then you have Michael Lee in the 11th position. And they are making their way through the S's now, getting ready to go racing here. And yeah, these guys, I gotta say, I'm excited to see how this race goes down here today. It's gonna be a fun race here, and these guys are truly some of the best here in these Xfinity cars as we look through the field here. Yeah, here's Thomas Green on the front row alongside. Yeah, it's Yelanen. What did I say? Yelahan? I don't know. Yalahala? There we go. Anyways, Yulhanen. Yulhanen. That's the name of the number 93. Jonah Why do we have such interesting names here? I mean, we got Bob Yankins in the, I don't know, whatever. Anyways, Yulhanen here. Yulhanen. I'm just going to say Jonah. How about that? Yeah, anyways, we're ready to go here in the Watkins Glen 100. Let's go ahead and get us ready to go here. These cameras need to be fixed, I'll tell you that much. They needed to be fixed a long time ago. But nonetheless, though, the first stint of this race will be 21 laps until that halfway bonus. These guys get ready to go racing here. Thomas Green, and it's Jonah. Alongside of him, the green flag. It's up here at Watkins Glen. We're racing on the VNS. Not a great start for Jonah there in the number 93 machine. Thomas Green, Ryan Miniker down to the inside. Miniker already in the grass there, heading through turns 1. And it's Thomas Green off to a pretty good jump there. It's Miniker falling back hard in the back. That's a lot of issues for that number 40 machine. Going to have to get that car back going. And he does. Thomas Green now to the lead. It's Jonah back behind him. Then McNeil, I believe, in the number 21 machine. Right there in that number, right there sitting in third. You have Donovan David right back behind him. Thomas Green leading them through the chicane here on the back stretch. That's where you're going to lose a lot of time, and Jonah's already lost a ton of spots now. Same for Fisher G as well. He went off there in the bus stop, and everyone now slowly making their way around this carousel. Thomas Green pulling out to a heck of a lead here down the straightaway into turns 6 and 7 here. These guys really need to get onto their brakes and get into a rhythm if they want to be able to catch this 35 now. Donovan David, who sits in second, back behind him. Thomas Green out front into the final corner. That's a lot of cars going off the racetrack there. There's the 21 battling with the one car. That should be Adam Mitchell. Excuse me, that's not Adam Mitchell. That's Miller. And back into turn 1. So far, pretty good for the first 2 cars there. The Thomas Green machine and the Donovan David machine both running pretty well here. Then the 21 doing a pretty good job here already early on in this race. We'll take a look at the battles back here. The 99 Christian Holder and the 36 of Gatlin Downey back here. They're going after it with the 98 in front of them. That's Michael Lee, a last-minute entry here. They're trying to catch up here. That's really the part of the pack with the most cars near each other. And there's a lot of cars going through the grass early on here at Watkins Glen. And we're only in lap 2. There's Fisher G into the wall, heading into the carousel. And Jonah's going to get past him. And, yeah, tough luck for that number 88 car. But looking up here, we got another battle about to happen here. Looks like for about the 5th position. That's the 98 of Michael Lee. Back behind him is Christian Holder. And he's got Gatlin Downey to his inside. They're going to battle for that position here down the front straightaway. A pretty good battle there between a Chevrolet and a Ford. Across the line, Christian Holder still has that spot, but we'll see how they do here in turn 1 on lap 3. Gatlin Downey has the inside lane, but Christian Holder is going to get that outside lane run off the corner. Looks like Storm Curry's coming up behind them. Up through the S's once again. Christian Holder starting to drive away from Gatlin Downey, barely getting into the wall there in the S's. See how your leader, Thomas Green, is still doing with Donovan David. Looks like he might be catching him here. Donovan David went off the track, way up on the outside of the racetrack. Too wide of an entry into the carousel. That's going to allow Thomas Green in the 35 to pull away even more here. And there's Jonah going off once again in the chicane here on the backstretch. Tough for him. So far, had a rough start to this race. But here's another battle. Looks like the 99 got passed by both the 36 and the 7. Maybe had some sort of issue in the chicane. But Storm Curry now past the 99. And then he goes way off the racetrack, trying to keep his speed up here. Everyone seems to be going off the racetrack just over top of the curbs there. Right now, though, Storm Curry looking to hopefully get himself a pretty good finishing position here. There's Gatlin Downey in the number 36 machine, trying to chase down the 98 of Michael Lee. He's now got another battle out here. That is the one, of Andrew Miller, battling with Ryan Miniker there. So far, pretty good battle for these two right here. Remember, Miniker started in the third position, and he had a rough start to the race. Now he's back here in the back. And, so working on lap number 5, coming to lap 6 here. Fisher G all the way in the S's. The 35 and the 22, they're coming up on turn 6 and 7 here. Looks like these two have checked out on the field, and they're starting to pull away quite a ways. And the 35, though, probably not the fastest car on the racetrack right now. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that 22 is continuing the catch. As you can see, that momentum carried off of turn number 7 here into lap number 6. Down into turn number 1. A really nice entry for the 35. The 22 got there as well. Both of them run over the curves there. The 35 of Thomas Green leading this race. Up through the S's. Donovan David trying to catch him here. And now this is where I wanted to kind of get to here. Was that pit road is going to be one of the biggest factors of this race. If you're anywhere behind the 35 or the 22, you are going to want to pull out some strategy from your butt here to try to regain all that track position, all of that time you've lost to these two leaders right here. These two right here, they could take right side tires, probably even 4 tires, and get out ahead of everyone else. But you can go about 14 to 18 laps on fuel, depending on how well you conserve throughout this first stint of the race, meaning you'll have about 3 laps left to go in the stage when you get done with a pit stop. And it's all going to come down to how these guys conserve their fuel. It's coming down to lap 7 here. It's Thomas Green still leading with Donovan David. A really nice run here in this number 22 machine has really caught that number 35 machine. And it's a pretty good battle here. Side by side, they're about to go. Donovan David to the inside looking there. But no, Thomas Green's going to shut the door and keep that car out in front. Thomas Green out front here. Trying to hold it off here. Donovan David going to see what he can do here coming to the chicane. Thomas Green trying to go down to the far right side of the racetrack to get away from the draft. Donovan David, now we see where he's gaining all of his time up. It's down in the bus stop in the chicane. And that really makes a lot of sense, especially with that wide entry into the carousel. He can really power off the corner well. That car definitely seems to be pretty angled. Yeah, I can see he's not running as wide out as Thomas Green in the 35 is. And, yes, you get 14 laps of fuel in the beginning, but depending on how much you save, you can get whatever. You can save up to 18 laps in the session I did. But nonetheless, though, the 35 and the 22 having a pretty darn good battle running here with them. And down into turn number 1. A pretty good entry for both drivers now. Side by side? No, not yet. The 35 hanging on to the 22. Keeping ahead is that 35. Still holding on to the lead here. Donovan David really going to have to try to see what he can do, because remember, he was really fast here in the chicane. Oh, man, Donovan David in the 22 car. Really cutting into the chicane on that first little, the entrance to the chicane. But, you know, this 22, he caught up to the 35 really fast, but I think he's having a hard time just passing him here. And it's tough because that 22 car seems very fast. And the cars behind him are long ways away. Thomas Green, though, still trying to hold off on to this lead. He goes wide again to the final corner. It's all about your consistency in the laps on your lap times. And Thomas Green does not seem to have it at the moment here. It's come to lap 9 here. Here it comes, Donovan David. Will he dive it down into turn 1? No. He gets a wider entry into the corner here. Gonna get a better run. Side by side, they go for the lead here. Never mind, they're going to fall back 1 and 2 for position now. Donovan David to the back end of the 35 car. Oh, he gets into the grass and the S's. That's going to lose him a lot of time here. All that ground he just gained, getting up to the back end of that number 35 machine. Now he's going to fall back here. And here's a look at all the other drivers. It looks like Glen Downey made it to the 3rd position, I believe that is. And that is Michael Lee there in the 4th position there. 35, Thomas Green still holding on with this lead. And there's the 22 Donovan David. I believe it is behind them that the 36, yes, 36 Glen Downey is in 3rd. And the 35 still leading here. Once again, very wide. Both of them. Donovan David went very wide as well. And he's losing a lot of time. Definitely wearing out the tires here. As we get to double-digit laps now, Thomas Green starting to pull back ahead of that number 22 machine. But Donovan David, though, he really overdrove that car into the corner, trying to get up to the back end of that number 35 machine earlier, and just can't quite get to him. I think he burned up the tires just a little bit too much here. And go back here, though, the 36 of Glen Downey. Looking like he might have a very strong enough car to maybe catch these guys. Remember, you may only need to take half a can of fuel or 1 can of fuel to be able to make it to the end of the stage. And yeah, right now these guys are looking so far clean all over the racetrack here. Fisher G is in turn 6, coming to turn 7 right now. He will be the first car lapped as the leaders come down towards turn number 6. Coming around to start lap 11 this time around. Thomas Green so far has led every lap of this race from the pole. Coming to lap 11 here. Oh, we got one car into the pit lane. He split it in half. It looks like that'll be the 21 of Caleb McNeil from Hoffman G Motorsports. So far, he is 7th in points in the TMGS, hot seating this week. In Watkins Glen, and he came out ahead of Fisher G, who's the last car on the lead lap. And as we look back here now, it's McNeil and G, but I believe there's the 22 of Donovan David. The 35 is also coming into the chicane now. He's opened up a lot larger of a lead than when we last checked on him. That's Thomas Green right there in the 35 machine. And, yeah, so he's right now working through the carousel. And, okay, cool. And the 22 of Donovan David, he actually seems to be catching up to him just a little bit here as well. Yeah, once again, the 21, Caleb McNeil, was the first one I saw to hit pit road. And he already came out ahead of Fisher G. Here's Christian Holder looking on a little bit of an update on him. Coming through the chicane right there. Pretty nice entrance and exit there. Got really nobody around him right now to race, just trying to hold his line. And here's Ryan Miniker here in the number 40 machine. He had a pretty horrible start to this race, but hopefully he can get a better start to the second half of the race. The 22 of Donovan David still holding about the same length behind the 35 when we last checked on them. Here's Jonah now. Entering turn 6 and 7. And everyone else back here. You got Andrew Miller up here in the 1. Then you have the 7 of Storm Curry. 36 Glen Downey heading down the backstretch towards the chicane. Your leader is currently in the carousel. I believe that 36 car is catching. the leaders here. At least Donovan David in the 22 machine. Fisher G is just about to go a lap down here very soon. Gatlin Downey and Michael Lee were in frame back there at the back. You could see. And so I believe that 36 is definitely catching at least Donovan David. The 35, the 22 are about to come and lap the 88 of Fisher G here. Fisher G come down to the inside lane there to let them by. Down into turn 1 now. There's a lap car in between the two leaders here. 35 of Thomas Green still leading here. Lap 13 out of 41 here today. Clicked off. And Thomas Green, is that lag? I believe that might be lag, or Thomas Green just got in the wall. I think Thomas Green got in the wall. We got a battle for the lead, and lead change here heading into the chicane. And it's Donovan David out to the lead now. Thomas Green's going to see if he can get down, cross over. They're side by side. Thomas Green up into the flat above the carousel. A tough luck for that number 35 machine, but he didn't lose too much ground here. He might be able to gain back up on Gatlin Downey here. On the 22 of Donovan David here before the end of the stage. Not too far away, but Gatlin Downey and Michael Lee are catching. That is for certain as they are about to get around Fisher G in the 88 machine. Donovan David now coming around out of turn number 7 to lead his first lap of the race. Donovan David getting caught already by the 35. But we look back now at the 36 is going to get passed by Fisher G, passing Fisher G in turn 1. Pretty wide entry there. But we look back to the leaders now. It's still Donovan David holding on to this lead after passing him just right here a lap ago. We look back behind him and see how this battle looks right now. The 22 so far holding on pretty strong here. Once again, the 35 really starting to get into the corner. A lot more heavy because he wants that lead back. You can tell Donovan David really got through there pretty clean. Thomas Green, though, you can definitely tell he's getting desperate as they slowly make their way through the throttle and onto the brakes here and everything through the carousel. Way wide goes both drivers down towards turn number 6. Here comes the 35. Will he try to drive it in? He will. He gets to the back bumper of the 22, and he goes wide onto the flat. Thomas Green's going to lose a lot of time right there doing that. But right now, Donovan David, once again, did not get down to the apex of the corner right there. Coming to lap number 15 out of 41. 7 laps remaining here in this first stage. Remember, it's on lap number 21 here. Down into turn 1. Thomas Green trying to get into there, really aggressive. Trying to get back to the lead. You can really tell. Overdriving almost every corner, trying to get back to that number 22's back bumper. Up through the S's once again, the 22. He actually seems to be pretty calm right now inside of that race car. Looking like he's keeping that car easily. Hitting his marks and keeping that car underneath him. So far, not seeing many other cars coming down pit road, if any. No, none. But back up front, still Donovan David holding on with the 35 of Adam Mitchell lurking back behind. He's closing once again. Adam Mitchell through the carousel. He never got down to the bottom of the racetrack, and that might actually help him here with a good run off the corner. 1 and 2 still for this lead here at Watkins Glen. Storm Curry, lap car ahead of them, side by side again, almost. Storm Curry out of the way. Battle of the lead here. 22, 35. Final corner here. Coming to lap 16 out of 41. Still Donovan David. Thomas Green second. He's really trying to reel him in here as they head back to turn number 1. Donovan David, he's going to get past right here. The 35 dove it in. Crossover move. Back to the inside. Goes to 22. And Donovan David clear with the lead yet again. Thomas Green really aggressive, trying to get this lead back, trying to get a third win this season. These guys are putting on a heck of a show for us right here, right now. The VNS series. Donovan David looks to the inside to maybe get rid of the draft. But here comes Thomas Green again, really aggressive into the entry of the corner. Both of them pretty clean. Here's Caleb McNeil in the 21 machine. The leader's going to have to go high. They're both on the flat. Who can get off better? Thomas Green gets off better. Donovan David still on the flat. And Thomas Green retakes the lead. Here at Watkins Glen, Caleb McNeil stuck in their way. And Christian Holder is on pit lane now and he'll probably get lapped before he comes out here. 4 cars in this pack right here. Thomas Green trying to get around Caleb McNeil in the 21 machine. The 22 now. Oh, no, we got the 35 on pit lane. What an intense battle, but I think the 35 said, you know what, I'm out of here. I'm losing too much time. Pretty good call for that number 35 machine. He saved it up to 17 laps here out of 14 laps that he got originally on fuel. The 99 came out just in front of the 22 of Donovan David here. Oh, he's back in the wall. That's Christian Holder. Now there's 3 more cars a lap down right there behind the 22 of Donovan David. Ryan Miniker there out of turn number 1. At 36, Gatlin Downey was also into the pit lane. He's coming in now. Looks like the 35 of Thomas Green maybe took 4 tires and fuel there. Looks like Gatlin Downey definitely took just a can or so of fuel just to get him back out on the racetrack. That'll definitely help him out in gaining some time on the racetrack. The 22 is coming into turn number 6 right now. He did get past the 21 of Caleb McNeil. And now it looks like he's going to possibly come down pit lane this time. Yes, it looks like he's coming down this time. The 22, Donovan David, onto the pit lane here. And now the 7, the 21, the 99, they're going to get back on the lead lap here. The 35 just coming through the carousel now. Ryan Miniker coming through the final corner. I believe he's already... No, he's coming down pit road this time. Ulanen is now coming out of the pit lane here. Just a couple laps to go in this stage. Michael Lee is also on pit lane. Looks like the 22 is probably taking 4 tires and fuel here. Let's see where he comes out in comparison to everyone else on the racetrack. As everyone comes onto the pit lane, Michael Lee coming off of the pit lane now. Donovan David now coming off the pit lane. Here's Thomas Green now passing them. Thomas Green got out on the racetrack before them. He's going to have a lot fresher tires. Gatlin Downey just now coming across the line. And here's the 35, the 22, the 98. They're all out already. Now it's going to be a 3-car battle for the lead when it comes down to it. Working lap number 18 right now. Thomas Green out front. He's retaken what will be the lead at least. The 22 of Donovan David behind them. And Michael Lee as well sitting in 3rd. Oh, Donovan David way off the racetrack. Looks like he might have clipped the grass there. There he is now, just now back into the carousel. Lost a lot of time there. The 98 now falling back from the 35 of Thomas Green. And it looks like just a couple laps to go here at the line. Thomas Green back out front. A large gap now he's put on the 98. 2 laps to go in the stage. Thomas Green looks like he will most likely win this halfway bonus here. The 98 of Michael Lee is sitting 2nd. Donovan David. And Donovan David trying to chase him down now. This will be for the 2nd and 3rd positions in the halfway bonus running order. When we come down to it here, we white flag this time in the stage. Michael Lee out front. It's Thomas Green out front. The Michael Lee is 2nd. Here's Donovan David. Looks like those 4 fresh tires are definitely helping out with the 22 here. Helping out with the 22, excuse me. But the 98 will definitely pick up a point here, even though he isn't running for full points here. 1 lap to go in the stage. Thomas Green out front. The battle is for 2nd. Donovan David sitting in the 3rd position. Michael Lee, they both run away wide, and here comes Donovan David to the inside lane. Oh, my battery fell out the wrong time. But we can still see the battle through it, though. Down the backstretch for the final time. Donovan David has retaken the second position from Michael Lee in the 98. Thomas Green out front, gonna coast to this halfway victory. And it'll be Donovan David, looks like finishing in the second position. And coming around the final two corners of the stage here, it'll be Thomas Green getting his fourth halfway bonus of the season, the 35. He will get the halfway bonus this time out of Watkins Glen. Make it 4 for that number 35 machine. And caution will be out, the 22, the 98. That's how they finish there. Miniker has come across the line. Yohanan is coming around the carousel now. He's got McNeil ahead of him. There's Storm Curry. Gatlin Downey has crossed the line already, coming down to bring up to the pacing line. A great stage for Thomas Green and Donovan David. They put on a show here for us at Watkins Glen International. So you look back here. Thomas Green is your halfway bonus winner. And then it's Donovan David and Michael Lee. It looks like Ryan Miniker there in the number 40 machine. Then Gatlin Downey in the 36. And then everyone else behind them, I believe, was Storm Curry. He had Fisher G in the mix. Jonah was in the mix as well. And with that, 21 laps. Well, 20 laps have been completed. Working lap number 21 now. Be 20 laps to go next time by when the pit road opens. And everyone right now probably happy that this caution has come out. A very long stage so far. These guys are ready to get this one completed here at the Watkins Glen International. Fisher G getting his lap back here. I believe he was the only driver a lap down at the call of the caution. Everyone works their way through turns 6 and 7 now. Jonah and Christian have caught up. Caleb McNeil and Storm and Andrew have as well. And as they all work their way through turns 6 and 7, coming down to the pit lanes here. We go to the cars on the pit lane here that have lagged out. When we can, but everyone down pit lane now. Right now it looks like, Andrew Miller stays out on the racetrack on the number 1 machine. He must have taken 4 tires and fuel in the last stop and feeling confident he can make it to the end of the race on one more stop here, which you should be able to. But that 35 car, though, he will lead them all into the pit lane. And Donovan David is back there as well. And Michael Lee, everyone so far pulling into the pit lanes now. Probably most likely going to be 4 tires and fuel for these VRC next drivers. And as we look out here, at the end of the pit lane, whoever comes off first will be coming off second, or will be restarting second here. Already Ryan Miniker out of his pit box as it comes down towards the line. It's going to be Donovan David winning the race on pit road. Miniker, then Lee, then it looks like it will be Thomas Green, Gatlin Downey, McNeil, Curry. Then you have, it looks like Christian Holder and Jonah Yohanan will be finishing it out there. And Fisher G now coming out of the pit lane. Everyone's going to have to slow down significantly for him. Donovan David, though, off of the pit lane first. He's worked lap number 22 now, under caution. Everyone will get lined up and ready to go back racing here. Remember, that was the 4th stage win for the 35 of Thomas Green on the season. And he and Donovan David seem to have the strongest cars on the racetrack, but we haven't really seen some of these other guys towards the front of the field, like Andrew Miller, who will be restarting this race from the 1st position. It'll be very exciting to see how he does out towards the front. Everyone seeming to get their starting lanes in order here. We have Andrew Miller leading us down to the green flag. And no sign of Fisher G just yet. We'll see where he is now. He's coming up through the S's at the moment, and something fell. But Andrew Miller in the 1 will be the leader on the restart here. I'm not 100% sure if we will be going one more lap or if we will be going green this lap right here. We might be, but we might not be at the same time. If we are, looks like we might be here. Right on board with him. The green flag is back out here at the Watkins Glen International Speedway. Down into turn 1, everyone seeming to get on the brakes pretty well here. We look behind him. Michael Lee was off the racetrack. I saw Caleb McNeil back there as well. A lot of issues for him. Ryan Miniker now pulls out to second. Here's a battle for the lead. Miniker to the right side of the number 1 machine. Side by side of the exit of the S's now. Andrew Miller putting the wall there out of the S's. And Ryan Miniker now to the lead here at Watkins Glen. Here comes Donovan David now to the side-by-side battle for second. Thomas Green back into the picture. Thomas Green just barely avoided the crashing number 22 of Donovan David there. Andrew Miller holding everyone up now. Ryan Miniker out front, side-by-side. Now Donovan David gets past the 1 of Andrew Miller. Thomas Green trying to hold up on that outside lane in the carousel. 1, 2, 3. That's second, third, and fourth right there. Everyone back behind them. They're all trying to chase down Ryan Miniker now off this restart. The 22 of Donovan David got punted way out of line in turn 6. Same for Andrew Miller. Everyone going offline here, trying to catch up as desperately as they possibly can. They're side by side. No, they're not side by side for second, but it's Thomas Green battling for second with Glen Downey now. He might be actually pulling away from here down into turn number 1. Downey keeps it off the back bumper of the number 35 machine. Now the 35 is going to have to go chase down the 40 of Ryan Miniker. Everyone's still flying out of turn number 1. Everyone still seems to get through it pretty cleanly here. Ryan Miniker still holding on to this lead, but Thomas Green, he'll be coming with a head of steam here down the back straightaway. Thomas Green led almost every single lap of the first stage here, but Ryan Miniker leading himself a couple here on lap number 24. Through the chicane, pretty darn good chicane there until he got into the grass there on the exit. Same for Thomas Green, he got in the grass a little bit there, I think I saw. But that 40 car can really rotate around that bottom of the racetrack. But the 35 still, he definitely is catching that number 40 of Ryan Miniker. As it look now back here for the battle for fourth. The 22, the 93, they're going after it. That's Jonah and Donovan. Chevrolet and a Ford going after it there. But now we go back to the battle for the lead. The 35 of Thomas Green has caught up to the back end of the number 40 machine. What will he do entering turn number 1? Will he risk it and go down to the inside of the racetrack and fly it in? No. He steps on the brakes a little bit early, gets a pretty good run off the corner. Both of them don't run it over too far. Thomas Green, though, still trying to get to the outside of the 40 of Ryan Miniker there. Back into the S's. Thomas Green, Ryan Miniker, 1 and 2. Here's Green looking to the inside. He's still at the bumper of Ryan Miniker. What will he do in the chicane as it come down the back straightaway? The 35 all over the back bumper of the number 40 machine. He's going to look to the inside here coming into the chicane. Ryan Miniker keeps himself ahead. Miniker, a great chicane there, man. Oh, we're going to go side by side for the lead, and it's going to be the 35 coming out in front. Ryan Miniker put up a battle there at the exit of the chicane, but Ryan Miniker, he's not done yet. He's back to the bumper of the number 35 machine out of the carousel. They're going to go 1 and 2. Here comes Glen Downey now into the picture of the battle. 1 and 2 down into the turn 6 and 7. Here's the 40 back to the inside. They both run it wide. Here comes Glen Downey now in the number 36 machine. Side by side for the lead. Never mind that. Here comes Ryan Miniker again. Back for the lead. Thomas Green has contact all over the place from him back behind. He's back to third now into the clutches of the 93 and the 22. Side by side again for the lead. There's Glen Downey taking that wide entry into the corner. The 40 car. Ryan Miniker holding it strong, though. Everyone really likes to run it wide in turn number 1. Miniker, he seems to be keeping it at a minimum as they head up through the S's one more time. 15.5 laps remain here in Watkins Glen. Ryan Miniker out front. A battle for the lead. It's with Glen Downey and Thomas Green coming back into the picture here at Watkins Glen. Miniker, again, a very clean chicane, but not the fastest. Here comes Glen Downey back to the bumper. Miniker still not to the bottom of the racetrack. And there he is now, getting a really good exit off, right hugging the bottom of the racetrack. Everyone's still running it wide on exit except for Miniker. He seems to be the one that can really keep that car in line and keep it holding on strong here. That'll probably benefit him on the long run. Oh, we got Glen Downey into the grass I saw right there. He's going to battle with Thomas Green for second. Never mind. Thomas Green easily takes the spot away from Downey. Thomas Green seems to be the strongest car on the racetrack right now. Gatlin Downey sitting in third now. Thomas Green back to towards the back bumper of the 40 machine. That's Ryan Miniker. Here comes Gatlin Downey again. Oh, he slid a lot coming out of the corner right there. And it looks like he'll be able to keep it straight, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars in this pack now. A little bit strewn out, but the 40 of Ryan Miniker holding on strong to this lead. Then he got Thomas Green, Gatlin Downey, and Donovan David. And back just a little bit of a ways is the 93 of Jonah Yohanan. And here they come back into the chicane. Downey back into the grass. And I saw the 22 in the grass as well, but I did not see the 35, nor did I see the 40 in the grass there during that chicane. 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway. Oh, the 21 of Caleb McNeil I never noticed, but he is out of the race here today. Early on, probably from a blown engine or something of the sorts. But now we got a battle for the lead, though. Can't dwell on that too long. Here's the battle for the lead. It's the 35 down to the inside of the racetrack. He will easily take the lead away from the 40 of Ryan Miniker. And now already a huge lead built up by the 35 machine. Miniker seems to be hungry to get back to that lead. He wants the lead. He overdrives it for the first time. Everyone overdriving it. It's Gatlin Downey and Donovan David back out across the field there. But Thomas Green now starting to pull away once again up through the S's now. Ryan Miniker holding second. Oh, a vicious hit in the outside wall. That was Donovan David in the 22 machine. He's fallen back behind the 36 and the 93 now. And they've lost the pack, it seems. But back to the leaders, though. Thomas Green still holding on. Ryan Miniker is sort of keeping right behind the 35 machine. He's going to have to really learn about where this 35 uses up his race car. Really wide exits for that number 35 machine. And it's Miniker still trying to hold on, though. 1 and 2 for the lead. A little bit of a gap there between them, but a battle nonetheless. Thomas Green, though, definitely the fastest driver on the racetrack. Maybe Jonah has something for him here coming in from behind. Miniker has fallen off quite a ways from that number 35 machine who sits out front now. Lap number 29 out of 41 in the works here. We got a battle for the 4th position. We'll look at that now. Side by side, it's Gatlin Downey and Donovan David. They've been going at it for a while now. Donovan David holds off Gatlin Downey. Excuse me. But back up front, though, we got the 40 car of Ryan Miniker. He's actually caught up to the 35 once again. And here they come through the chicane into the carousel now. It really seems like Thomas Green gets a really nice chicane and then carousel. I think that's where the 35 is gaining on both the 40 and the 93. But Jonah seems really fast back there in the number 93 car. Looks like he's going to probably try to make a move on the 40 car here heading into turn number 6. He goes to the outside of the 40 car, and he's easily going to slide up. Well, I don't know if he's going to take the pass, though, but no, he's not. The 40 Ryan Miniker keeps that second position. Top 3 still pretty darn close to each other, but the battle for second is closer. Lap 30 now. 12 laps to go here in Watkins Glen. Already been under green for about 8 here, and this battle for the lead has not ceased to amaze us here in the VRC Racing Championship next series. Still bumper to bumper for the second position. Miniker did not catch up to the 35 that much that time around, but he's going to have to see what he can do here coming into the chicane once again. The 40 seems to really get a good reel in on the number 35 machine, heading through the S's here. Back into the chicane here. Both the 35, the 40, almost identical chicanes as they head back to the carousel. Now it's all going to matter here where they can gain up on time on each other. The 93 back behind them trying to learn where they run. He seems to be the slowest of the 3 cars. Right now, Ryan Miniker holding on strong with the 35 right behind. These guys really strong. But remember, the 93 and the 40 car, both of them were involved in crashes at the very start of this race. That's why they were so far back at the exit of the first stint of this race. But Miniker really needs to start working on his second half of the lap. Jonah, he really needs to start working on the first half of the lap. Here comes Jonah out of the inside. Miniker throws a block, but he's not clear. Back into turn 1. There goes the 40 to the back end of the 35. Everyone's squirrely all over the place. The 40 car into the wall. Now Jonah's gotten clear to second. Now will he have anything for Thomas Green? Ryan Miniker's falling off from the top 2 now. It's all up to the 93 to see if he can get up to the number 35 machine and get around him. Quite a ways away from that number 93 car is the 35 ahead of him, but he seems to have a pretty darn good race car. These two drivers, 2 wins on the season, and they're looking to make it 3. At least one of them wants to here at Watkins Glen. Miniker lurking back there in 3rd. He might be able to catch back up to them, and it's Christian Holder back in front of them. And we are getting very close to the pit window here, and I believe that's why Christian Holder is so far back. He must have come down pit road. The 35, the 93 going at it. Miniker back into the grass. I think he was actually coming down pit lane. I don't think so. No, Miniker was not coming down to the pit lane. But the 2 leaders are have gotten past the 99 Christian Holder now. Now Holder is now a lap down, but we got a battle for the lead though. The 93, the 35, a couple of Chevrolets here battling for the lead. It's been Thomas Green pretty much in this entire race, and then now he's getting contested by a new contender. That's the 93, Jonah Johanan. And here they come down the backstretch. Jonah looking to try to find a way to get around him into the chicane here. Still, both of them pretty identical chicanes here. Maybe Thomas Green's a little bit faster, but back into the carousel now. The 93 a little bit more shallow of an entry there. The 35 slower around the traffic of the racetrack here. Right now, Jonah trying to get up to the back end of the number 90 of the number 35 machine. It's about 4 cars back behind them, but Miniker and Donovan David probably going to go battling for that position of the 3rd position in just a moment. But this lead battle is insane. Here comes Jonah. Got a really good run out of the corner there. Thomas did not get that great of a run there out of turn number 7. 9 laps remaining here in Watkins Glen. Thomas Green versus Jonah Johanan. Here they come. Up on more lap traffic. Excuse me, we have 8 laps. No, yeah, it is 9 laps to go here in Watkins Glen. Sorry. Jonah and Thomas battling for the lead, bumper to bumper through the S's. They're coming up on lap traffic side by side. Here they come down to the inside of the racetrack. Here comes Jonah Johanan to the lead, and he's going to try to get clear before they get out of the chicane. They're still side by side. This is a daring move by both drivers. Thomas Green's the one to let off. Jonah comes out in front. New leader in Watkins Glen as they come up on lap traffic, Fisher G. 8 laps remain this time by a late pass. Well, I mean, the 35, he's had a pretty darn car that pretty darn good car all race long. And now the 93 of Jonah has taken it away. 8 to go this time by. We can count it on our fingers. And here they come out of turn number 7. It'll be 8 this time. And Jonah seems to be pulling away. The 35 starting to get desperate once again. And we're going to start seeing those mistakes that he started making. Those dive bombs like he made on Donovan David in the first stage when he passed. But remember, we still have pit stops to go in this stage. Now we have 8 laps to go. Jonah out front. And it's going to be Thomas right behind. They're going to go side by side now. Thomas with a way better turn number 1. Jonah going to barely block him into the S's there. Jonah now back out front. Out of the S's now. Down the backstretch. Towards the chicane. Let's take a look at the other drivers in the field right now. A couple cars on pit road. That's Miniker and Lee. Fisher G's far back. The 93 and the 35. They've started to gap each other for a little while. Michael Lee off the pit road. It looks like he's taking that same strategy he did on the last half of the race, and taking probably fuel only. Same for Miniker, I believe. They were out of the pit road pretty quick there. Jonah and Thomas still have not pit. They are still your leaders here. They may be coming in this time. Nope. Jonah stays out. Thomas stays out. Will anybody else come down to the pit lane? Will Gatlin Downey come down the pit lane? No, he will not. Gatlin stays out on the racetrack. Thomas Green out now in turn number 1, trying to chase down that 93 of Jonah. Remember, there's only one DNF so far this race. That's Caleb McNeil in the number 21 machine. And that was early on in this stage. 7 laps to go. Jonah is pulling away, looking for a 3rd win on the season. He won at Richmond, he won at Michigan, and he's looking to try to get himself a road course win this season. We're going to have quite a few more in this season. But Jonah wants to win this one. He's won at a 2 mile, he's won at less than a mile. Let's see if he can do it at more than 2 here, I believe, for Watkins Glen. But Thomas Green, though, really starting to get aggressive with his entries into the corners, with his braking. And it looks like with 6 to go, he's slowly catching back up. But will they be pitting this time? Thomas Green, he will hit pit road in the number 35 machine. Donovan David stays out 1 more lap. Miniker through the chicane. Christian Holder through turns 6 and 7. Thomas Green on pit road. Gatlin Downey stays out another lap. Jonah really has to pit this next time by if he doesn't want to lose any more ground to that number 35 machine. This will be a battle between who can get out of the pit lane fastest. Looks like the 35 is already off the pit lane. Might have been just fuel only once again for that number for another driver. Maybe even 2 tires. Not 100% sure. Might have been 4 tires. Was not keeping track of time. But Jonah so far is really far out in front here. And back out into the carousel. He's far out in front of Donovan David, who's sitting in the 22 car. Back in position number 3, or what was position 3. Now he's in 2. Now we're going to see if Jonah comes down this time by. Should be 5 laps to go. Count it on one hand this time by. Will he be pitting this time? Jonah does not pit again. Will Gatlin Downey come down to the pit lane this time by? The 36 car stays out on the racetrack. Will they have any means of saving fuel to the end of this race? I don't know, but Donovan David, Gatlin Downey, Joni Olainen, they've all stayed on the racetrack so far here, working 5 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. Jonah won it in an intense battle to Adam Mitchell back in Michigan, and he got him another extremely exciting win in Richmond just a week ago. Can he go back-to-back this season? Only one driver's done it this season. I believe that is Thomas Green. 4 to go this time by. And it's Joni Olainen out front. Johanan. Yes, the 35 actually went back-to-back before Jonah won Richmond. So it was Darlington and Dover that the 35 won back-to-back, and the 93 is on pit lane, coming to 4 to go. Donovan David stays out yet another lap here in the number 22 machine. He's only got 1 this season. Let's see if the 36, he stays out as well. McGinnis Motorsports Fords both staying out on the racetrack here. Going to be very interesting to see how this goes down here. Couple more laps and we won't have any more cautions to contest in this race. Thomas Green is down into turn 1. Jonah has come off of the pit lane now. If everyone has to pit, Thomas Green will come out the leader here. But will he have the tires to do it? Oh man, Donovan David through the grass at the exit of the chicane here. And slowly getting around the top side of the carousel here, coming around to 3 to go. Jonah out of the S's. The 35 into the chicane. A big gap was built between the 35 and the 93 with their pit stops. The 22, Donovan David, stays on the racetrack another lap. Down in turn number 1. 3 laps left in this race. Gatlin Downey, he has come down pit road. The 22 of Donovan David out front right now. Will he come down pit lane this time? Gatlin Downey still on pit road. Lost a lot of time to Jonah. Fisher G was down pit road. A big gap between the 35 and the 93. 2 laps will remain this time by. Donovan David out of the carousel now. Pit strategy galore here at Watkins Glen. The earlier the pit, the better it seems right now. Oh, Andrew Miller stuck into the tire barrier right there. It looked like, oh, Donovan David wrecks it in the final corner. And he's probably coming down to the pit lane here. Yes, he was. Donovan David down to the pit lane. He needs to take only half a can of fuel to be able to even have a chance. But I think that the 35 will be the leader here when it comes around to him. Yes, out of the final corner, Thomas Green will be the leader. That very early pit stop will have him leading with the popsicle sticks in the air. Down into turn number 1. Just a couple more circuits for this 35 car. The 22 hadn't even hit his pit box yet. Donovan David, tough for him. He was the leader just now coming out of the pit box. Gatlin Downey coming up behind him. Jonah out of the pit, out of turn number 1 into the S's. But the 35 is out of the S's. Down into the chicane now. A huge gap between the 35 and that black car, the 93 back there. Christian Holder between them. Coming to the light this time. Thomas Green looking to get his 3rd win this season. One more time around, this time by. Into turns number 6 and 7. He knows he has to get through these just one more time after he gets past them. White flag in the air. One more time around out of turn 7. We don't have any more cautions coming. It's been a caution-free race besides the halfway bonus. One more to go for Thomas Green. He's been the fastest car all day long. He's looking to get a 3rd win this season within 4 races. The other one last week, Richmond, it was Jonah Yulhanen. But this week, it looks like if he doesn't have any more mistakes, it'll be Thomas Green taking home the checkered flag. Through the S's, out of the S's for the final time. Down the backstretch. No contest around him. Down into the chicane. Don't spin it out. All you have to do, hit your marks, and you've got it. Thomas Green out of the chicane, into the carousel. Not going to hold the bottom of the racetrack to keep away from spinning that car out. Got in the grass a little bit there, but that's okay. Kept the car straight. And gave it to him. He basically swept this race, starting on the pole, winning halfway. And, well, he's going to do it. Give it to him. This will be his 3rd win this season. Thomas Green, give it to him. Checkered flag. It's in the air. It's waving for the 35 of Thomas Green for Dark Horse Racing. 4th coming into the day. 4th in points. He is a rookie this season, already put it up on the board. He swept it today. Almost pulls off a Vincenzo Iacovacci Pocono race, but he won't. He still led almost every single lap here today. The strongest car in the race. Jonah Yulhanen finishes 2nd. Donovan David will finish 3rd. Gatlin Downey will finish 4th. I believe Middicker maybe even 4th, actually. But the 99 Christian Holder, I believe, was a lap down at the finish. Yes, 3 wins in 4 races for the 35 of Thomas Green. What a season that has been so far in that number 35 Dark Horse Racing Chevrolet. Dover and Darlington, 2 completely different tracks, and now he comes to Watkins Glen. And he dominates it. Absolutely dominates it with the pole, halfway bonus, and he got himself the win. Checkered flag for Thomas Green. What a race for these drivers here today. We'll look at your finishing results here when we get them. But what a race for these drivers. Let's see what the fastest lap of the race was. And it looks... Who got the fastest lap for us, Ryan? Ryan? Who got the fastest lap? It's not showing. Oh, there we go. And it's going to be Jonah Yulhanen getting the fastest lap. Wow. The 35 got the 4th fastest lap, slower than his qualifying lap, believe it or not. But he almost swept everything this race, but he got everything from the pole to the halfway bonus to the win. Congratulations once again, Thomas Green. That is it from us here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway from the OMA Racing Network. Thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you guys in the next race, I believe at Talladega Superspeedway. What?